Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the booth. I'm Zavox with Gorion for the first match of the final weekend of the Alliance Tournament 14. Gorion, how you going?
I'm doing pretty good. Went hit the hot springs yesterday. I'm feeling a little different.
Good. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. So let's have a quick look at this lineup that the two teams have fielded. We see Exodus with double Barghest, Floon, Cyclone, Augura, Hyena, double Purifier, Vigil, and Cruor. And on to Phoebe.
Yeah, Phoebe's bringing that quad Navy battlecruiser crop that we've seen with a Fleet Hurricane, Harbinger, Brutix Navy, X-Squirror, double Ashermoos, and 2 Purifiers, banning the Belgorn and the Onyx, while Exodus banned the Guardian and the Oneros. So it looks like we've started, and here we go.
The match has begun. Neither teams have started burning in. As a matter of fact, Exodus are burning slowly away, and there's a quick loss of the Hyena on Exodus's side. A quick loss. They're starting to focus down the Executor of Phoebe Freeport Republic, trying to remove that logistics from the side of Phoebe. But a quick loss there from that Hyena. The second Cruor of Exodus is tackled, neutered, painted, and taking substantial damage. And he's down as well. That's a good trade for Phoebe.
That's a good
Wow, this could be an upset.
Yeah,
and
so
still,
this is something we've been seeing a lot from these Navy battlecruiser comps, is that they've been murderous on support, and as you can see, Exodus has lost a Hyena and a Cruor.
Just gone down for the Executor of Phoebe Freeport Republic has gone down. So Phoebe is now without reps, without any repairing ability. A Purifier also starting to go down on Phoebe's side.
Yeah, it's gotten caught in some reps, and it's probably caught some distance, obviously, since the other 2 ships that went down.
He's trying to micro-warp away and speed tank a little.
And this time up, looks like
Purifier down. Yep. So we're now 2 for 2. However, Phoebe is obviously without the logistics ship. Both sides seem to be trying to get rid of the bombers on the opposing side. Huge amounts of DPS able to be removed from the field, and there's a second Purifier down on Phoebe's side.
Yep, so starting to see the skill that Exodus is known for starting to apply itself in this match here.
Really starting to see that Exodus is burning their BCs away, but they're still able to apply just fine to the bombers, as you can see. So still a pretty even match. They're starting to focus down the Barghest of Sabotage.
Yes, they are focusing on the Barghest, but at the same time, Exodus is focusing on that Fleet Hurricane, and it's dropping.
It's taking some damage.
Yeah.
There's no logistics on the field. It looks like there are a cloud of drones trying to keep that Fleet Hurricane alive, but it's not going to be enough, mate.
Yeah, it's dropping his structure, and
it's not going to be enough.
Set match for that guy.
Meanwhile,
he's going to go home in a pod.
The Barghest of Sabotage on the Exodus side is doing just fine. So they've recovered from their 2 very early losses, taken out now almost 4. Oh, that Hurricane is staying alive somehow, not able to apply enough damage to break through those rep drones.
Gaia Jane's definitely keeping it up here. It's got all those rep drones just swarming all over.
I mean, it's worth noting right now that, as Chester was saying before, Exodus has been stomping pretty much everyone, but this is clearly not a stomp. Pretty even match thus far. Vigil of Exodus now about to go down. Can they keep it alive? Not receiving any reps. Vigil is not receiving any reps.
Definitely not. I mean, the Augur's been neuted out probably, but looks like a Newt and a Nos heavy on it. That Hurricane,
he's still alive.
Yep, he's
tanking like a boss, son. And now
he goes. Okay, it might have just been a reload for all the ships there. That's something that's definitely prevalent with the Barghest comps, depending on what they're loaded with.
That Vigil managed to stay alive, so they managed to bring that Vigil back up to full.
So let's take a look here to see what they're armed with, and it definitely looks like they're loading rapid heavies. Yeah, they're using rapid heavies. So that's probably why the Hurricane was able to stay up as long as it was.
We're definitely seeing Exodus in a commanding position with 4 losses on the side of Freebie. This Augura is in low armor, and there goes that Vigil finally. So they actually switched, Phoebe switched away from the Vigil, and reps were taken off the Vigil, but they switched straight back and volleyed it down. The Augura now of Exodus about to go down. Wow! 4 losses on each side. Once again, this is... And a Navy hub.
They traded that Navy battlecruiser, so a lot of the DPS
trades.
There's still a lot of DPS on the field for Phoebe, but
it's a lot of DPS on both sides.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Exodus still has its core there with the 2 Barghest, the Fleet,
all of their
the
cores.
Cyclone.
They're 2 Barghest, the Floon, whereas the second Navy hub of Phoebe is starting to go down. Again, now there's no reps on either side apart from rep drones, which you see now being applied to the Navy Harbinger.
And it looks like that Cyclone's actually their links. I'm looking at it right now. I don't see a lot of aggressive actions being done by it. It's sitting on one of the micro jump units so as to give it some safety in case something happens.
And an even trade there, a Purifier for a Navy Harby and a second Navy Harby of Phoebe about to go down. There's 5 on each side. What an incredible match to start off the weekend. Navy Hub is in low armor, but the Barguest seems to be doing just fine. Where is there's no damage being applied really on Phoebe's side.
Yes,
they're not
at this
applying
point,
very much damage at all.
The disparity of losses are starting to take their toll. The purity of the throne skin being ripped off of this Harbinger. It's just all
skin.
black. Yeah, it's nice
beautiful.
looking, but probably looks
skins.
better when it's not about to explode. So it's dripping into deep armor now, and it's going into structure. So we should see. Who is this here? Venix probably.
He's going to go down.
Yeah,
His drones aren't going to be able to keep him on, keep him alive. We're seeing a Purifier of Exodus getting focused, but not too much damage being applied from their side. So now we're down to only 2 cores, 2 Navy Brutixes on the side of Phoebe, whereas Exodus seem to be in a fairly commanding position with their double Barguest and Floon core still up just fine. Their Cyclone most likely providing links and a single Purifier. Speed tanking like a lunatic. And staying alive just fine.
Yeah, so the thing that was most important is that Exodus, even though they did take some significant attrition in their support wing, were able to keep their major damage dealers. And
That's
they're able
exactly right.
with battle cruisers, even though they're able to keep all of their eggs in different baskets, it lets you not get wiped out like completely like that.
Now one core
when you
left.
have 2 Bargus and a Fleet Foon,
I mean,
it deals pretty good application damage to those fleet battle cruisers.
This could be it for Phoebe. Can Phoebe come back from this, Gorion?
No.
I don't think they can come back. They're down to their last Navy Brutix. They don't have a lot of DPS left on the field. The Ashimu's not representing very much at all. The Purifier and the Barguest that were taking damage on Exodus' side are doing just fine.
Yeah, we're seeing good
However,
fights in Rokal already.
It looks like a pretty, just like mopping up the remnants now for Exodus. But what a fight.
And definitely after each of these ships came down, I mean, the one thing that is a huge advantage with this Navy battle cruiser setup is that you can bring a lot of rep drones. And as each one of those ships went down, the amount of damage they could rep just significantly decreased. It's not diminishing returns. It's in fact the opposite. It gets amplified as each loss takes its effect on the team. So the last Brutix is getting chased down. It's only got about 4 drones chasing after it right now.
It's just a matter of time.
It looks like we're in a reload cycle with the Exodus teams. That's probably why we're not seeing a lot of damage being put out right now.
But really nothing that Phoebe can do. But it's worth noting here, Phoebe giving Exodus a pretty good run for their money. Exodus have a habit of stomping most teams thus far in the tournament, and Phoebe's giving them a pretty good fight. Really, I mean, those two early kills from Phoebe really made me think, wow, are these guys going to do it? It wasn't really... Phoebe weren't seen as a favorite in this match along a lot of people, but
I mean, you could tell that just from the pedigree of these two teams. Like one's
absolutely
definitely placed multiple times, and Peavy's only been here 2nd time.
That's right. And it's the last core ship, the final remnants of their real DPS has just been removed from the field. Exodus doing just fine. That Purifier taking a little bit of damage, but really that's all she wrote.
It's just cosmetic, cosmetic damage at this point to what's going on. The Ashimu's breaking much quicker than the Navy battle cruisers here right now. Zent Kroll, being the last member of PFR on the field, is getting swamped, and he's probably going to go down here very quickly.
What an incredible run so far by Phoebe. I mean, they're coming up against a team here who has a huge amount of experience, pedigree in the Alliance tournament, have had amazing results in the past couple of years. For Phoebe to come this far and give them a pretty good fight with 5 kills, pretty good performance from Phoebe. Well done.
Yep, and that's it. 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, and the match is over for Exodus. They win, and we'll send it back to the desk. Thanks for watching.
And PFR gets sent home by Exodus, who move forward in the Alliance tournament. Phoebe just unable to make that battlecruiser comp work for them the way we've seen it work for other teams. And those shield Barguests just just dropping damage down. What did you see on the field there, Larrikin?
I thought the beginning game was super interesting. Actually, let's talk about the bans really quickly. Maybe you can explain this to me, Jess. Exodus go on ban Tech 2 logistics cruisers and then bring a Tech 1 armor logistics cruiser.
Yeah.
Why?
So some teams, and Exodus has done this once in a while, where they're going to ban out both Tech 2 armor logi and then bring a Tech 1 instead. And they have a comp where they're very comfortable doing this. And it looked to me like Phoebe didn't, because they brought armor anyway and substituted in an Executor for the Tech 1. And it just seems they weren't ready for that. While Exodus's comp seemed very, very prepared to have that Tech 2 logi, they were ready for it. They understood having, a Tech 1 logi. They understood that 2 Tech 1 logis on either side means you want to go for a logi trade very quickly. So in the initial stages, Exodus warped in Hyena, Crewor at 0, which is important to notice because when those 2 ships dive the enemy Phoebe team, yes, they were picked off quickly, but they did what they needed to do. They webbed bonus target painter, and you saw how quickly the X-Core on Phoebe Freeport died almost immediately. After that,
yeah, I was super impressed. You saw those 2 webbing ships go down. I kind of missed the vigil there for a couple of minutes, and I'm like, how is Exodus still killing everything? They have no application there. I mean, rapid heavies and rapid lights, etc. You can still get so much application out of them, and almost didn't matter that those 2 ships died.
No, not at all. It was a really good trade. So you can flex tank Barghists into armor. So armor Barghist with the Fleet Typhoon, as long as you have a little bit of application on a Tech 1 logi, they can headshot it very quickly. And this is where you see teams like Phoebe kind of reaching kind of their limit. They didn't understand that right off the bat. They killed both of the webbing ships immediately, which is good, but they were also at 0, so they were the obvious choice to shoot. But after that, you'll notice Exodus, surgical, going after the complete support wing of Phoebe, leaving the Ashmus alone because they're not really providing a lot of DPS, and that's basically a completely wasted 18 points. Ashmus, even with the reduction in points, still are not very point efficient, so to waste 18 points on 2 of them is a huge, huge loss in your comp. And then to show Phoebe shooting other ships and not trying to kill Parole, which to his credit, he flew very nicely, immediately afterwards, spelled their doom, because that entire time Exodus was just launching, reload after reload after reload
and
into
they were just
their Navy
picking off the
battlecruisers.
bombers, knocking off all that DPS to the point where they could tank it. Yeah.
We did see that Hurricane hold on through.
Yeah, I mean through the reload.
But it's a reload.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he's really gonna make it. He's gonna make it happen. He's gonna make it happen until another missile comes out.
Exactly. The RHML teams, they need to pick one target initially. They need to kill that target, because if you go through 35 seconds of doing no damage with so many points sunk in DPS and you haven't killed the target, it's devastating. You're going to be really behind kind of the 8 ball in that regard. And they killed their logi, which is good. And
let's take a look at how much damage they did do here in the post-match infographic. We can see Phoebe only sending 70 across the line there. Exodus dropping 198,000 damage back onto the Phoebe Freeport Republic. And really just none of those Phoebe ships really capitalize on their potential. That Kane gets a respectable 36,000 sent over, but it just isn't enough really to handle a team of Exodus' stature.
Definitely. You see just look at the difference in bombers. Just being able to clear the bombers off immediately once the logi's dead reduces the amount of damage that they can do. So you're looking at Exodus bombers, which are alive for much longer. They do more than double the DPS. And Phoebe's bombers, which didn't have a logi to fall back on because theirs was killed instantly, only can spit out so much, and bombers are very important. The longer you can keep them alive, it is a lot of damage, and it adds up, especially when you're trying to crack big, backbone ships, like Navy battlecruisers, like battleships. That's really what kind of starts turning this small snowball into a giant avalanche.
Well, Exodus just executed their logic and then went straight for the bombers next. They were get rid of that. That's a whole bunch of DPS off the field.
Yeah. Really, really good target calling. I have to say that I do have to give it for Phoebe though. I mean, they're a new team. They made it this far. And in no way is that shameful at all. There's just a few things that they still have to learn. And I think next year, they're going to look at these matches, they're going to look at these strategies, and they're going to come back even better. And year 3, they're going to be a team to watch out for, end of story. I mean, they were this year. Look at what they did. Final weekend.
And they have done
well. Year 2 team.
Finishing in the top 8. Really, for the entire Alliance tournament, they've guaranteed themselves 15 skins, 15 plex for going in and making it to the top 32. Another 15 plex for making it to the top 16. So they have done quite well for themselves, and I think we can look forward to seeing them come back next year with a little bit more experience and a little bit more of an idea of what they need to put on grid to deal with these supremely talented teams with huge histories in the Alliance tournament.
Definitely. I mean, whether you want to look at what Phoebe did, I mean, they've got an invite to the next year's Alliance tournament. They made a ton of money, like you said, in Plex, in skins. So they came out really ISK positive in this, and they gained a lot of experience. So like really, hats off to them. They did very, very well. This is just when we're getting into this final week on these final matches here. You're going to see teams like Exodus, both of these types of execution, this strategy depth, where they can just come onto the grid and see, oh, well, this is what it is, this is what we're doing, compared to Phoebe, where they're a little bit out of their depth still. But like I said, and like you said, excited for next year.
Very excited.
Really hoping that Phoebe goes even further. This really, really strong team. It was good to have them here.
And of course, everyone excited to see the Purity of the Throne skins on there getting blown up.
Exactly.
An excellent little touch, I think. If you come to the tournament, bring the bling. You gotta have your swag on lock if you're gonna make it to the big game.
If you're from Chicago,
speaking of which, speaking of skins, as long as we're here, tournament skins, of course, coming out for the teams participating in this weekend, the final weekend's matches. They will be rocking some specific prize skins that are offered to those who participate in the Alliance tournament. But if you viewers at home would like to be rocking some some special skins, up until November 1st, we are offering through the New Eden store the Rosetta Dawn skins, which
Pink skins.
I wasn't going to use that word.
That's what it is, though, right?
What is your hate against pink? Like the color pink? What's wrong with
It's a rich magenta. It is a deep mauve, perhaps.
Wow.
A vibrant rose.
A vibrant rose.
Yes, like you, Chester. A vibrant rose blooming in EVE Online. Rosetta Dawn skins available until the 1st of November. Limited time only. After the 1st of November, they will be discontinued for sale. You won't be able to get them anymore. And 100% of all of the proceeds of the sales of those skins are going to Breast Cancer Association here in Iceland. And I have the name for that association.
I do want to hear you try and pronounce that. That sounds great.
I'm gonna do my damnedest. The Blekaslaufan, which is the breast cancer. I'm sorry, the pink ribbon campaign. Blekaslaufan is a pink ribbon. There we go. Sleifan.
Man.
Oh, it's an AU.
That Godzilla level of grammar coming from the Icelandic language.
They really know how to bring it.
They do. They do.
So do stop into the New Eden store next chance you get. Take a look at the skins that are available for your ships. The Rosetta Dawn set of skins is only available to the Ore line of ships, I think.
Correct.
That is the way
Pimp
it
your
was
orca,
designed.
ladies and gentlemen.
If you're mining, mine in style.